Find an employment law attorney in Denver, Colorado. Finding an employment lawyer is not always an easy task for Colorado workers. You probably know enough people that have had a divorce or traffic ticket that you could find a referral for a divorce lawyer or criminal defense lawyer without much work. However, you probably know fewer people who hired Colorado employment law attorneys at some point in their career. Often employees do not know much about employment law or where to even begin finding an employment lawyer in Colorado. Today's post will help demystify some of these issues. What is employment law and how does it differ from labor law? There is plenty of confusion to go around about what labor law means and what employment law means. The short answer is that there is no meaningful difference to worry about. Often you will see even legal resources refer to the two as a combined labor and employment law. Many attorneys who do not practice in these areas likely could not even tell you a difference. Labor law and employment law both relate to the employee-employer relationship, although they deal with the relationship in different ways. Employment law. Generally, what we call employment law deals with an individual employee-to-employer relationship. These cover medical leave laws, employment discrimination, wrongful termination, unpaid wages or overtime, and issues involving individual employment contracts. Even in workplace situations involving multiple workers, you could isolate each individual's relationship with the employer. From there, you can determine whether violations of employment law occurred. Common employment law claims in Colorado include employment discrimination, unpaid wages, overtime pay, hostile work environment, harassment, wrongful termination, family and medical leave issues, labor law. On the other hand, labor law deals with the relationship between the employees as a collective workforce and the employer. Labor law protects the right of individual employees to come together and bargain over work conditions and terms of employment. Most people think about labor law in a formal union setting. Labor law definitely involves unionization and union rights in the workplace. However, employees also have rights under labor law without the presence of a formal or permanent union entity. Employees can act ad hoc to negotiate over individual situations as they arise. Labor law claims often proceed through specific channels rather than lawsuits, such as NLRB complaints or arbitration proceedings under a collective bargaining agreement. What kind of lawyer do I need? Chances are good you do not know exactly what claims you may have or how to find the top labor or employment law attorneys in Colorado for your specific needs. That is okay. The good news is that most employee rights attorneys do not distinguish between one or the other. Labor lawyers in Colorado tend not to practice exclusively in labor law unless employed by a union or union-related organization. If you need a labor attorney in Denver or other parts of Colorado, you most likely will end up talking to an employment lawyer. Not all employment attorneys in Colorado have expertise or experience working with labor law, so you may need to search carefully for lawyers who fit that need if you have a labor law issue. Employers searching for labor law attorneys in Colorado may have an easier time hiring big law firms who have labor law departments that they can source from offices around the country. Employees will have to look closely to find labor lawyers in Colorado. Most employees searching for a labor or employment law attorney have employment law claims and need employment law firms in Denver or other parts of Colorado. Free consultations with employment lawyers. Lawyers began offering free consultations as a way to get prospective clients in the door. Law firms treat free consultations in different ways. Most often the consult is an opportunity for lawyers to interview prospective clients to determine if there is a worthwhile case and then reach an agreement to proceed with the case. Often legal advice is not offered in the course of a free consultation, but some law firms may provide limited legal advice. Contingency fee lawyers. Many employment law attorneys in Colorado take certain labor and employment law claims on a contingency fee basis. Contingency fee agreements are agreements between lawyer and client to pay the lawyer a percentage of the proceeds of the claims instead of taking payment on an hourly fee or other basis that requires the client to pay out of pocket for the lawyer. Contingency fees allow employees who might not have thousands, or more likely, tens of thousands, of dollars to hire an attorney to represent them in complicated and costly litigation. This fee structure makes it easier for employees to pursue claims they otherwise could not afford. The percentage paid to the attorney may range from 25% up to as much as 50% depending upon the claims, the law firm, and when the case resolves. The contingency fee paid to the labor lawyer or employment lawyer is significant, but the law firm essentially takes on the legal work on loan to the client with the risk of non-payment even if the law firm does the best possible work. An employment law lawsuit may take over 100 hours of work to go to trial. At an hourly rate, the attorney's work is extremely expensive and few workers could reasonably afford to pay that out of pocket. Colorado employment law attorneys typically do not take all cases on contingency. Some labor and employment law work does not lend itself to contingency fee work, like reviewing severance agreements, and sometimes the client's goal is to avoid litigation, which means there is no recovery to divide between lawyer and client. Additionally, employment law attorneys have to carefully screen cases before taking them on contingency. Not all cases that could go to trial will produce meaningful recovery. Do I need to find a Denver employment lawyer for a labor law or employment law claim in Colorado? Employees searching for a workplace attorney in Colorado want to find the best employment lawyers. As the largest city and state capital, many people will search for employment attorneys in Denver, Colorado. Generally, it would not be a poor decision to hire employment law attorneys in Denver. However, there are labor and employment law attorneys in other parts of Colorado. Location alone typically is not the best way to find an employment lawyer. Consider many factors while finding an employment law attorney, including the attorney's skills, expertise, and experience dealing with labor law and employment law issues, the attorney's reputation with clients and within the legal community, fee structures offered for the work you need from the attorney, how the attorney communicates with clients, location of the law firm, the attorney's expertise and experience dealing with the unique issues in your case, and the attorney's comfort dealing with the issues in your case and the size of your employer.